Welcome to the place where we learn about and learn from the leaders in our field who are powering human creativity. I am Aaron Dworkin, and this is Arts Engines. Thanks again for joining me here on Arts Engines. Today's guest is Adrienne Thompson, who serves as Vice President for Enrollment and Student Services of the Merit School of Music. Oh, Adrienne, welcome to the show.
I am happy to have a chance to talk with you.
Well, I'm so excited to talk with you. Obviously, Merit does some extraordinary work, and it's one of our amazing partners, creative partners for the show, help us to co-curate this show. And we wanted to talk a lot about this very interesting initiative, Musical Pathways. But just before that, for our audience, so that they have a sense, could you just kind of share just some of the background of Merit and the work that you do there?
Merit has been around for more than 40 years and was initially started when budget cuts led to Chicago Public Schools cutting out music in the curriculum. And so it has been an initiative that has been designed to help people have access to music, good music instruction, and it provides a full range of things that eliminate barriers in terms of cost, but also a full program in terms of music instruction, ensembles, theory, chamber music, so that the experience is very enriched.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So it's just such incredibly important work. And of course, you have been doing this work for many years, having an extraordinary impact. I've obviously been able to see the impact of your work in Atlanta with the talent development program and others. And so you really are kind of a leader nationally in this work. And so can you share with us, you were the inaugural director of Chicago's Musical Pathways Initiative. Could you kind of share what that is, how it came about, and what its impact is?
Yes. Chicago Musical Pathways was started because there is a reason why there is only 1.8% African American musicians in American orchestras. And some of that has to do with people having the opportunities and the experiences and the exposures, which helps them to be able to be successful and competitive at that level. It is not, as you know, because people don't have the interest or don't have the ability to succeed. And of course, there have been other barriers in respect to race that has kept that number low. So what we do is that we work with students starting in 6th grade who have a passion for music, who are interested in pursuing it as a career. And what we are doing is making sure that they have access to the best instruction, that they have musical experiences like camps, that they have advice and mentoring from professional musicians of color so that they can see that it is possible, and all of the things that go into them being prepared to continue their education. Post-high school, we want them to go to the top music schools in the country and then stay on the path, pre-professional and professional, in order to participate in classical music as a performer.
That's it. So it's awesome. And in terms of that collaboration, I know, right? And there's many in our audience where they're like different organizations sometimes just don't play well together, and trying to figure out how to come together, even when everyone has that same shared passion, right? As you're describing, being able to transform the trajectory of a young person. So could you just share kind of how do those collaborations work? Are there challenges that come up that are faced during them?
Well, it takes a village. And so our village includes university, DePaul University. It includes the Chicago Youth Symphony Orchestra, ensembles that the kids participate in. It includes the Chicago Symphony, which provides tickets, complimentary tickets, access to master classes and other musical experiences. It includes other community organizations that are involved in the training of young musicians, Musical Arts Institute, Shy Arts, the Chicago High School for the Performing Arts, Hyde Park Suzuki Institute, Ravinia that has an El Sistema program. And we have been able to work together because our mantra is what is in the best interest of the child. And so what we have had to do is to kind of put aside our personal kind of to let that go. And as we look at situations in terms of what is in the best interest of the child, then that is what makes it easy for us to work together and do things that all leads to us being able to achieve the mission of the program.
That is awesome. And I know sometimes, right, that is difficult with those collaborations, but it's amazing to see, such a breadth of organizations come together in that very specific way. So one of the things, for a lot of organizations, they're doing this work with young people. They're really trying to, transform their trajectory so they can go on, potentially build professional lives in the arts, in music. And just wondering how you view that role that family takes in this. And is there anything that you would suggest that you've seen really can have a transformative effect on a young person in terms of mechanically and specifically how you want to engage with families in this process?
So the one thing that we don't do is we don't look at this as something that we scoop up a child and we do with a child. We look at it as something where we embrace the whole family so that everyone becomes knowledgeable about what it takes to be successful. It's absolutely crucial because the child can't do it by themselves. And we can't do everything for the child that they need. So even in terms of when people are auditioning for the program, the parent and the child have to come to an information session to even be able to get an audition time to audition for the program. So our goal is to have the parents involved from the very beginning. During the course of the program, parents are the ones that help the students get to concerts. It's not like we send a bus around and pick people up, but their parents bring them, so their parents get a chance to hear the concert. Their parents come to community meetings where we explore different topics that help them to understand the classical music industry. Because what we know is that when they graduate from high school and when they go to college, we know that when things become difficult or discouraging, they're going to call mom. And we want mom to be able to tell them because they understand what's going on. We want mom to say, you can do this, just hang in there. When they call me after they go to college, it's usually to report something that they have done successfully. But when they are discouraged, we want their parents to say it's going to be okay. And the only reason they can say that is because they understand what is going to happen and they are able to provide that support. Once they go to begin their college training, it could take another 10 or 15 years before the student lands into what their career path will be. And so the parents are there for the long haul to provide that support and encouragement that kind of helps them persevere until they actually achieve what they're trying to achieve.
Awesome, awesome. So always, and it's such a great process and delicate at times, I think. But that full engagement of the family, I can see, is so important. Unfortunately, we're running just a little bit short on time, but I always like to ask my guests, right? You have this extraordinary leadership in our field in a variety of cities and a variety of capacities, transforming not just young people's lives, but obviously the institutions that you're a part of. There's got to be some difficult days, times when it seems like the challenges are almost insurmountable. If from a leadership perspective, how do you address those tougher days? What do you draw upon for strength, for inspiration, for your own leadership?
So I use the how do you eat an elephant approach. So you eat an elephant one bite at a time. And so therefore, anytime I can break something down into smaller parts, it's like I can do that. It's like I may not be able to eat the whole elephant or fix the whole problem, but if I can find a component of it that I can impact and start to do something differently, then before long, then the whole problem will be solved. So it's just, I don't see things as being unsolvable because I try to look at the smaller parts that lead to the bigger goal. And there's always a way to work on that.
Adrienne Thompson, you truly are one of the arts engines who is fueling human creativity in our world. Thank you so much for being on the show.